What about investors who think that property is too high risk if you compare it to bonds or shares or other assets?
Property is the only investment I know of who actually has a tendency to double its value between 7 to 10 years. You cannot say that on the stock market, and you can definitely say not say that with bonds. So yet again, we're talking about different risking profiles. I'm not an investor advisor. I cannot recommend people to do one thing or the other. They have to be comfortable with what you do. But investing in property does give you better returns overall, full stop, because you don't have the quick changes of market. You don't have a property is something which is brick and mortar, and that has a value, full stop. And that value, when you buy a property and you increase the property, because either because you do an extension or because you do a conversion and then just do a commercial building is being changed into residential, or because you are turning a very large house into flats, or very large house into co-living spaces. All of this is, at the end of the day, ways of increasing the value of a property, and therefore it doesn't really affect anything else. It's not affected by anything else. So as long as you buy the property at the right price and you increase its value, then you will always make your money. But whether it's safer than bonds, well, obviously you get a very, very tiny return in bonds. So, but then you get a guarantee. I cannot tell you that. That's something for the investor to decide whether they want to be investing in stock and shares or bonds or property. It's for them to decide. It's not for me to convince them, because it is not my money. It is your money. And as their money, they have to be comfortable with whatever they choose to do. And this is Raquel Queral. If you have any more questions or want to know a little bit more about how we work and how we can potentially work together, just drop me an email at thegreenlandlady@gmail.com. Thank you very much and have a good evening.